and welcome back to Rebel Reels. This is episode 8 and today we're going to be talking about SEO.
We are. SEO. I think it's episode 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we do this every time.
We do.
We really need to write this down.
We do.
Rather than just go, what number did we do
front.
last time? Yeah, SEO. Well, reason being is there's just so much stuff to talk about on SEO
There is,
that you just can't cover in an episode because there is just so much stuff. So it can go so in depth with it. But the last one we did, we had the lovely Brad on, who is an SEO literal genius. Like, there's not many people that I'd call a genius in this world, but when it comes to SEO, Brad is top notch. He really does, like crazy. So I think we talked a little bit about GA4 and the implications of the switchover of that that's coming soon. Just an FYI, if you've not seen that episode and you haven't switched to GA4, make sure you do, otherwise you're going to lose all your data. And I thought actually we probably should take it back a few steps to people that don't really know what it is, don't really understand it, and kind of explain a little bit about kind of why it's important.
Yeah, almost like a little beginner's guide.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, it's about all I know, so stay one step ahead of the class. Yeah. Joking. Obviously, we know all about SEO, but just not as much as Brad. No. Yeah, so I think to start off with, SEO is search engine optimization. Most people kind of know that, but if you didn't know that, that's what it is. And it is the tool or the, what am I trying to say? It's not the tool, it's like the activity of getting your website to the top of Google, essentially. And the reason that we want to do that is so that we can pick up the traffic of intent-based searchers. Now, when we say that, what we mean is that people that are searching for your product and or service that have the intent to buy. So that is where SEO comes in, and that is what Brad does and we do for our clients. So what we're going to go into a little bit is why it's important and also the differences between why you should have kind of a good mix of marketing that includes SEO and why it's different from social media and the kind of work we do there and from a brand awareness perspective. So, SEO. When we're talking about social media, we kind of had this discussion earlier today, didn't we, with a client? Yes. And social media is great. It's all about creating a culture, creating a brand, creating an understanding of kind of who you are and building that trust and that community, right? Yeah. Which is what you do very, very well. And it's being at the forefront of people's minds that when they do come looking for a service, you're the people that they think of. That is how social media should be run. Yeah. If you're using paid advertising, slightly different on the channels, but if you are just organically kind of creating content, etc., that is the ultimate goal. It's about building followers, building a community that will recommend you to others. Building
relationships and trust as well.
Exactly. All of that really good stuff that leads to sales later on down the line. Again, I know we're talking SEO today, but that is, I think, where people miss a trick with social media is that they are just constantly bombard people with, this is what we do, buy from us, buy from us, buy from us. And people don't give a shit. It's so boring. The majority of the time, yes, you have to tell people what you do, but it should be like a secondary piece. It should be, they know what you do because it's in your brand name. It's probably in your title somewhere on socials.
If they follow you as well, majority of the time they'll know who you are
and what you do. Yeah. But it should be about showcasing that culture and all of that kind of stuff, right? Whereas SEO, on the other hand, is more about driving people that are already looking to buy. So that's the key difference. One is about brand awareness and being at the forefront of people's minds when they are eventually look to buy, but might not be when they start following you. SEO is about capturing people that are already ready to buy and looking for your service. So that's a fundamental difference, and it's a very, very different set of marketing than just using social media. I think the biggest thing for me with socials is it's great. Emily is fantastic at social media, but it's not the be-all and end-all. So when we look at things like SEO, if you're looking for actual lead generation, SEO PPC is the way to go. So if you've got smaller budgets, I would recommend keeping your social media in-house and doing your social media yourself and investing into the SEO and PPC side of things. Now, when we're talking about SEO, there's kind of 3 kind of key things that need to be looked at. One is the on-page stuff. So that's your content, what you're writing about, making sure that our content fits the audience, but also, most importantly, writing for Google.
Yeah.
Now, Google is essentially about 15 years old in terms of its thought process. So the recommendation is that you write as if you're writing to a 15-year-old, basically.
Be sort of as in-depth as possible.
Yeah. Make it in-depth, give as much information as possible, and make sure that Google understands what your page is about.
Yeah.
So that also means you can't cover multiple topics in one page. And again, we've seen loads of clients recently that have been advised by other people to have one single page website. For the love of Christ, do not fucking do that, okay? It might seem great, but you cannot get them to rank. You just can't. You have to have individual URLs that follow a really clear pathway that Google can crawl and understand. So you need a hierarchy of information as well, right? So if you've got, say for us, we do marketing, obviously, but under marketing, there's a whole load of sub-services, right? Social media, strategy.
If that was all on one page, Google would find it so confusing, and you wouldn't be able to rank for any of that, because it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's like, well, what are you? Do you do social media, or do you do SEO, or do you do people? Like, what is it that you actually do?
Yeah.
And that is a really key thing that people don't quite realise, is that the structure of your site is really important. And if you're sitting there going, wow, we never get any leads from our website, which is a common thing that we always get. Well, we had this website build, we paid like $8,000 for it, and we've never had any leads from it. I was like, well, that's great, but have you done anything since the website was built, or did you just launch the website and leave it? Because if you launched the website and just left it, no, you're not going to get any fucking leads, obviously. You've got to continuously work on it and make sure that it ranks. And then once it's ranking, you're going to have competition in those areas. So SEO is a very, very ongoing process.
And that kind of links to the off-page side of things. Because there's stuff that you have to do in the back end of the site to help you rank.
Exactly. And backlinking is super important as well. There's a lot of people at the moment, for some reason, in the SEO world, that are really peddling backlinking as like the be-all and end-all. Like, you don't need to do any of this other stuff. You just need to focus on a backlink strategy.
It's not the way forward.
Oh, God, no, it's really not. Like, if you've got a shit site, technically, and your content is shit,
it's not going to work.
Your backlinks will do diddly squat. I was going to swear again then, but I know Bill's going to get annoyed with that. But it literally is going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing. It's like, just no. And also, if you're going to go and pay someone on like Fiverr to do some backlink strategy for you, it's going to be shit, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to put absolute load of spammy stuff. They're going to put you on crappy directories with low domain ratings. You'll get crap traffic through, and Google will know what you're doing, and you'll get penalised for it. And that is a real thing, again, that a lot of clients don't realise.
Yeah, they don't believe it would happen to them.
No.
When it
and some
actually
of them,
can.
and some of them don't even realise it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you piss Google off, they will penalise you and could completely take your website down. So you have to be careful with what you're doing on it. But likewise, the risk, you need to take the risk in kind of adding new content, getting backlinks, making sure it's technically sound. Otherwise, there's no point in having a website, right?
Yeah.
It's like opening a shop and then sticking that shop in the middle of a forest somewhere where nobody comes, right? Like, it's like...
It's not going to work.
No. You might get the odd murderer dragging a dead body out. You might want to coke, but other than that, you're not going to get anyone, right? You need to be where the footfall is. You need to be showcasing what you do.
Definitely.
You know? I think most people in the offline world, B2C-wise, kind of really get that. They will do, like, all their research into footfall, like, especially retail places. Okay, what's this? Is this an affluent area? Yes. So they will even look into, right, well, I don't know, we're Selfridges, for example. Not that Selfridges open any locations really anywhere, but if they were going to open a new location, they would look into, okay, what kind of footfall comes here? How affluent is the area? So what products would we need to be pushing? Is this the right place for a Selfridges, etc.? They'd look into all of that stuff, and they would make sure that their shop front attracted the audience that they were looking to attract, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you should be doing with your website, and the way to do that is with SEO.
Got ya.
In a long way, right? You're like, yeah, I know all this, what are you telling me for? Basically, the reason you're here is because I felt weird talking to the camera, so like...
It's fine by me.
But it's true, and there's so many people that just don't get SEO,
No,
and there's still loads of people that are like, oh, SEO don't work.
It does.
Literally. Like,
Got to give it
tell
time.
that. Yeah.
It does.
It does work. if it doesn't work, then I'm really sorry to the clients that, you know, especially our little mate Matt, who won a £2.5 million contract a few weeks ago because of SEO, which was directly linked. Just have a word with him. He'll tell you that it works. But yeah, I mean, it is one of those things that there's so much to it that you just need to be on it. You need to be doing it in order to get that result. And it isn't going to be an overnight thing again, because it's organic. Like, you're growing organically. But over a 6 to 12 month period, where you then sit, if you maintain that through working on your SEO consistently, making sure your site stays quick, making sure your on-page stuff speaks to the right people, you know, updating your website regularly, etc., 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 then actually you're going to reap the rewards from that, and you will see a return on investment. It's like PPC and that, if done in the correct way, are the two kind of marketing channels that I would say you can almost guarantee that you'll see a return. There's like no ifs, no buts. You will see a return if you implement those strategies. So yeah, I think that's in terms of SEO. Do SEO. I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
Be patient and do it.
Exactly. And if you're going to someone and they're going to charge you £250 a month to do a backlink strategy and will tell you they're going to get loads of traffic, no, it's just not. If you're going to be doing SEO, they need to be telling you about content strategy. If they're not writing content or amending content on your site, they're not doing their job properly. If they're not looking at technical SEO, i.e. your site speed, what's going on in the back end of your website, they're not doing it properly. And if they're only looking at backlinks or not including backlinks as well, then they're not doing it properly. So think about all those three things before you kind of start with your SEO. But definitely look at implementing it as a strategy if you're looking to generate leads to your website. So yeah, that was me ranting on for 10 minutes about SEO. Join us in our next episode where we'll probably rant on some more about a different topic.
Yeah.
See you then.